I'm getting a bunch of questions, a bunch of emails about our upcoming webinar, which is intern billing, bringing interns into your practice, onboarding. When I say interns, I really mean pre-licensed clinicians. People use those terms interchangeably. The two billers, the Bill Like a Boss, Annie and Donna, are doing a presentation. This is part two of our three-part series that we've been offering about how to bring interns into your private practice. So I'm getting a lot of questions. People are like, what's covered in the first part? What's covered in the second part? So I thought I would just come in here and do a behind the scenes and let you guys know exactly what's included in the webinar. Let me share my screen here. Share. Okay, so this is the webinar that is coming up is on September 28th at 5:30 p.m., which is Thursday at 5:30 p.m. Eastern. This would be myself hosting it and Annie and Donna, the two billers of Bill Like a Boss. They are billers, but they're also therapists, and they run a huge group practice, and they have pre-licensed clinicians and interns in their practice every semester and beyond. So they are very experienced with this. So this is a three-part series, as I said, but first we have interns into your private practice. This was part one that's pre-recorded. So when you join this webinar, you're already going to get access to two pre-recorded intern events that we've already done before. So part one is right here, and this is ready for you to watch once you log into the portal. We talk about understanding the intern landscape. We talk about current trends with internships in the therapy field, internship dynamics, exploring the relationship between interns and supervising therapists and clients, and how to manage all of that. They do a really good job in this one explaining that. Practical advice on how to smoothly integrate interns into your daily operations of a private practice. So they've got tons of systems, onboarding systems for this part of it. Intern management, strategies for effective mentorship and management of interns, how to set expectations, provide feedback, and that sort of thing, and facilitate professional growth with the pre-licensed intern clinicians. And then legal considerations. So this is where we talk about billing, a little bit about billing. We have a whole nother webinar on billing. So legalities around internship contracts, compliance with state and federal laws. They touch on a lot of that in this first. And then they did do a live Q&A at the time. So there's tons of questions. Part two of the pre-recorded that we already have is billing for interns and pre-licensed clinicians. So this is, I think this webinar was an hour and a half long. It's super informative. It talks about everything intern, pre-licensed clinician billing that you could ever think of. They cover it. So incident to billing training, consent forms. We have a checklist to go by that Annie and Donna put together. And then this is the entire webinar on what to look for when you're billing, how to figure out if you can bill, how do you bill. That's all covered in this webinar. You get immediate access to that too. And then part two of the intern training, because we couldn't get to everything. So we're like, we have to do a part two of this. So part two is what's coming up on September 28th at 5:30 p.m. Once you sign up, you'll have access to this portal. We'll have a link where you can log in to join us that day if you want to, or the replay will be available here for you. So on this second part, they're going to talk about the onboarding process. So more in depth around details for successfully integrating interns into your practice starting day one. Intern contracts, they're going to get more in depth with that and what you need to think about including in your contracts. Supervision, the role of supervising the therapist and mentoring them. Documentation and compliance. So really getting into the nitty gritty around, like, do you have to sign off on their notes? Do you have to sign off on their treatment plan? How do you know if you have to do that? Can they be working remotely out of the state at the time that you're supervising them? There's all kinds of questions like that that we're going to talk about. Client management, how to involve interns in your client care from initial assessments to the ongoing treatment process. And Annie and Donna are going to talk about the importance of clear communication between the supervising therapist, the intern, and the client, how to manage that sort of triangulation, I guess, if you want to call it that. And then professional development, strategies for fostering professional growth of interns. So continuing education, skill development, career planning, all of that they're going to touch on. Logistics, workspace arrangements, scheduling, all of that stuff that comes up when you're trying to bring in on interns. More legal and ethical considerations that we didn't get to the first time. So ethical obligations around hiring interns, if that's what you want to do, how to transition them into an employee after they become licensed. A lot of those issues were left on the table that we needed to cover this time. So we'll be covering all of that. That's it. I just wanted to touch on that since we're getting so many questions. I'm going to send this out in an email too for all of you that have been emailing me about this because it seems confusing. It's 3 parts. You get 2 parts already when you sign up. Third part is live on this coming Thursday at 5:30 p.m. Eastern. Okay. So I hope that clears it up. Let me know if you have questions. You can drop them here in the comments if you're not sure if this is right for you. Really, if you've ever thought about bringing in pre-licensed clinicians or interns into your practice, this is the bundle you need to help you do that smoothly. So I hope you'll check it out if you've been interested in doing this. And let me know if you have questions. I'm going to go look over here real quick. I don't think I see any questions coming in. No. Okay. But I'll be monitoring this. If you guys have questions, I'm going to pin this to the top of the group so you can check it out. And I hope you'll come. It's going to be awesome. The first 2 were amazing. So this one I'm sure is going to be really good too. All right. Take care. Bye-bye.